Time now for the morning rush.
We start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Mostly sunny skies today with just a little bit of high cloud cover here and there. No rain or snow, so leave the umbrella at home. You won't need it today. You won't need it tomorrow either. We're just talking those high clouds through the next several days and warming temperatures through Saturday. David?
We now turn to breaking news out of Farmington, where state police are investigating a deadly officer-involved shooting. Now, Farmington police say they responded to a Motel 6 Monday night in reference to a suspect wanted by Ignacio police. Now, they say the suspect, a 25-year-old man from Colorado, had a felony warrant for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Now, after an hours-long standoff, the SWAT made their way into the room. It's not clear right now. Further details we are looking into as we get into the day, but shots were fired, and again, that suspect is listed or as declared dead. But we will have further information as we get into the day.
On to other news for you. Today, residents of Santa Fe will choose our next mayor, which does include candidates like Peter Ives, Alan Weber, Kate Noble, Joseph Maestas, and Ronald Trujillo. Also up for grabs, 4 city council seats. You can find their names on our website. That's KRQE.com. Polls open at 7 o'clock this morning in about a little over 10 minutes. They close at 7 p.m.
Also happening today, residents of Rio Rancho will head to polling centers to vote on their next city mayor. Right now, incumbent Mayor Gregory Hall will face off against both Tom Swistak, a former Rio Rancho mayor, as well as newcomer Christopher Muldrow. Now, another hot seat voters will have to pick is the next municipal judge. This is between incumbent G. Robert Cook and Ramon W. Montoya. Both of these positions are 4-year term seats.
As you head to the polls, the city of Rio Rancho is asking residents to vote yes on the road bond question, which would ultimately use $10 million to fix several busy thoroughfares. The majority of the $10 million will be spent on Rockaway, Abrazo, and Country Club. The 2018 road bond is a continuation of a previous voter-approved road bond back in 2016, so this bond will not increase property taxes.
Also on the ballot this morning is the question over public safety bonds. Now, this would help out first responders by replacing old and faulty equipment. If voters say yes during today's municipal election, $4.1 million would be spent replacing 50 police vehicles, a fire ladder truck, fire engine, fire tanker truck, and an ambulance. Now, if it does go through, property tax bills will go up $25 for every $100,000 in value. And remember to stay with News 13 as your election station. Watch tonight at 10 for election results and tomorrow for an election wrap. Our election coverage continues on KRQE.com as well as the KRQE News app.
Today, parents are getting active shooter training in Rio Rancho. The active shooter training is part of a series to get parents to see signs. This does include drug recognition, suicide prevention, along with parents' rights and responsibilities. The active shooter training will take place at the high school starting at 6:30. No reservations are required. Child care will be provided. They're asking parents not to bring infants, though.
Happening now, new cell phone video shows what led to the BCSO's shooting of a suspected truck thief. When Adrian Chacon was caught in a pit maneuver in the South Valley 2 weeks ago, deputies say he rammed one of their SUVs trying to escape. That deputy says he opened fire because he feared for his life. Chacon was wounded. Now, deputies say he has a history of crime, which is why prosecutors are asking he be kept behind bars until trial.
This morning, Q's Cakes and Sweets Boutique will be reopening its doors after being burglarized over the weekend. Over the weekend, thieves broke in through the bathroom, getting away with $200 and causing damage, forcing the water to be shut off. Just a few days after the owner, Quenisha Myers, announced that she will be featured in a Facebook ad campaign. Since then, Myers has been hustling to get the store back together and bake hundreds of goods for the event today. How the community has stepped in to help coming up in the 5 Facts. Back to you.
You will soon see a hike in grocery receipts taxes. This after Albuquerque City Councilors passed that measure. That would mean an extra 38 cents for every $100 that you spend. It's expected to generate about $52 million in new revenue. This as the city faces a $40 million budget deficit. An amendment was also passed with it guaranteeing at least 60% actually going to public safety. The increase goes into effect July 1st.
Looking ahead, an ordinance that would minimize the punishment for possessing pot in the city is set to be heard by a committee next week. Right now, someone without a medical card can get fined $50 and spend up to 15 days in jail for having an ounce or less of marijuana. Councilors Pat Davis and Isaac Benton want to drop that to a $25 citation, similar to a parking ticket, and no jail time. The same would apply to someone possessing pot paraphernalia.
As you wake up this morning, President Trump moving ahead with his plan to impose stiff tariffs on steel and aluminum, despite concerns from allies and members of his own party. In a rare public split yesterday, House Speaker Paul Ryan released a statement urging the White House to not advance with this plan. The president has threatened a 25% tax on steel and a 10% tax on aluminum.
Former aide to President Trump, Sam Nunberg, says he will likely comply with a grand jury subpoena from Robert Mueller in the Russia investigation. Nunberg was fired by the Trump campaign twice, the latest in 2015. Now, in his several interviews, he also claimed Mueller may have something on Trump and accused Carter Page, former Trump campaign advisor, of colluding with Russians.
On to news happening right now. The 10th longest serving senator in history leaving his seat. Senator Thad Cochran says he is retiring next month because of health issues. Cochran was elected to Congress in 1972. He served in the House until 1978 when he was elected into the Senate. His last day will be April 1st. There will be an election in November to finish out his term.
New this morning, both South Korea and North delegates have agreed to meet in a landmark summit. Now, the two leaders will meet at a peace summit in April. Kim Mon-un also mentioned that there would be no missile test while diplomacy continued. This comes after the two countries agreed to meet earlier today. Kim Jong also says he's willing to meet with U.S. officials. The U.S. says they will only meet if they're willing to discuss denuclearization.
On to news happening today. Hundreds are expected to gather at the Albuquerque Museum to kick off the March for Babies. Proceeds for the march goes to March of Dimes. That's an organization that helps premature babies. Today's event will feature team captains, local business leaders, and families of premature babies. It begins at 7:30 this morning. Kristen.
Happening today, parts of the Northeast are bracing for the threat of a second nor'easter. The system dumped heavy snow in the northern plains and upper Midwest earlier in the week. States now along the East Coast could get hit with another round of strong winds, heavy snow, and coastal flooding, all beginning tonight. So, of course, we'll keep tabs on that storm. Here at home, not a whole lot of concerns at all. I mean, our temperatures are going to be cold to start. We're currently sitting in the 20s, which is why that Metro Threat Index is at a 1. But this afternoon, sunshine, high clouds, and light winds staying less than 15 miles per hour. David?
Happening today, we will likely learn the steps the city is taking to fix problems with ART. The mayor is holding a meeting about the ongoing challenges with the project and the efforts underway to fix them. Now, this includes problems with the stations and the buses.
Happening right now, the city is considering doing more to help balloon pilots land during Fiesta. Councilor Don Harris is proposing a city task force to look at the issue to see in part if the city can preserve any more open space for balloon landings and to see if there are any incentives that could leverage private landowners to keep their properties open to landings. The task force would also still need city council and mayoral approval before they do start up.
Time now for a check on traffic. Not seeing anything major out there this morning. Everything looks clean and green across the city for now. Of course, I'll keep tabs on that throughout the morning for you.
New this morning, sneakerheads and pizza lovers unite. Pizza Hut is out with a new shoe dubbed Pie Tops for March Madness. Now, the high-tech sneakers can order pizza with the push of a button on the shoe, and in a step up from last year's version, that same button can also pause live TV. The sneakers aren't available until March 19th. No word yet on the price.
Very interesting. All right, time for the 5 facts.
Start with number 5 here. At local bakery set to open its doors for the first time this morning since burglars broke in over the weekend, stealing hundreds of dollars and causing a slew of damage there. The break-in could not have come at a worse time. As you heard Sarah say, today Facebook is expected to be there to feature Q's Cakes and Sweets Boutique in a campaign for small local businesses. Instead, they're using the small bump in the road as a boost for their business. Q's Cake says more than 20 volunteers came out Saturday with towels, brooms, and even mops to help clean up. The owner is thanking them this morning.
At number 4, today voting is getting underway across the state, including in Rio Rancho and Santa Fe. Santa Fe residents are not only selecting a new mayor, but voters will also be working with a new way to vote today. Elections will be decided by ranked choice voting. Now, voters pick their first choice candidate, then rank their second and third choices. The system is supposed to eliminate runoff elections, all in the hopes it will save millions.
At number 3, warmer temperatures across the state today. Albuquerque getting back to near average in those mid to upper 50s. Sunshine and high clouds over the area. Winds will be lighter today too. We are looking at warmer temperatures come tomorrow.
At number 2, this morning we now know that ICE agents arrested 23 people in a recent sting involving New Mexico. Also, more than 100 businesses in New Mexico and Texas are now on notice that they are being audited. This means that they must hand over hiring records on their employees' immigration status. ICE officials say this is an effort to keep businesses from hiring illegal immigrants. And we also now know that Santa Fe was one of the cities targeted in the raids. This morning, the capital city's mayor is saying his city is not going to be bullied or forced by the administration. The city is now hosting workshops to teach businesses and employees their rights.
On to number one now, we're talking about the APD officer shortage. New details show the mayor's goal to have 1,200 APD officers could be hard to reach. A new chart in a city budget report shows cadets who failed the department's physical and background checks have left APD with only 60 successful recruits out of more than 1,300 since 2015. The police union says another part of the problem is the college requirements put in place by the Berry administration. The report also says officers in Albuquerque are not paid enough to spark interest.